And here we are. Hello. Welcome to Things from the Flood. Into the Dirt is the name of our campaign. We're playing this again. It's our third session. Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. We'll kind of cover what we've done so far in our little mystery sandbox. So if there's anyone in the channel, hello. Thank you for joining us. Uh, Feel free to pitch in with ideas. This is a sandbox. We're kind of naming places and building it as we go. So if you have any ideas, and I might even be soliciting names for certain places and things like that, feel free to chime in. If you're watching this later on YouTube, thanks for watching this there. Really do appreciate it. If you ever get a chance, come watch us live. So before I dive into the summary, let's just do plugs and stuff. So we'll just do it really fast. Say who you are and who you're playing and whatever you got going this week. So, Bert, you're up.
Sure. Find me at twitch.tv/Steam Steel Murder. I've got first edition Dungeons and Dragons on Tuesday. On Friday, I've got some BX Dungeons and Dragons, and Saturday on the Goodman Games channel doing some Umerica. Good
Right
stuff.
on.
And I am playing. Who the heck am I playing? It's been a few weeks. Yes, Edward Ranking, the hacker. That's what he does. That way as well.
Yeah.
Two kinds of hacking.
Jeff, Bert, and Jeremy. Oh my God, this is gonna be so much fun, Calvin. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. It's gonna be good. Okay, yeah, I dropped both your links in there. I got your Twitch channel, bluemagic.com, and everything. So all that stuff's up there. Let's keep it moving. Chuck.
Oh my gosh, I'm Chuck, Defenders of Cobalt. I'm playing Levi, the jock. No, not the jock. The rock music guy. Yeah, those are the right words in the possibly right order. Yeah, music and shit, man. But yeah, Defenders of Cobalt this Wednesday. We're playing some Skullbox. Jeremy's going to be orchestrating the madness. Friday night on Defenders of Cobalt, we're doing Act 2 of Chariot of the Gods from Alien RPG. Saturday during the day, we're going to be recording our next episode of Watercolors and Warriors, our 5th Ed Ghibli campaign, and that'll be on YouTube that night. And then, like Bert said, Saturday night, Goodman Games official. Bert's running Danger Strangers through some Umerica. So, yeah, cool stuff.
Awesome. And did you introduce your character?
I did, Levi.
Did?
I
Oh
did
yeah,
really
the rocker.
poorly.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Over to Joe.
Hi, I'm Joe with the Defenders of Kobold, and I am playing Nicholas, the street kid with a super fun home life.
Everybody has a super fun home life in this game.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
think that's why we all hang out.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, and let's see. I was going to ask you a question about your character. You said what teen type do you have again?
Street kid.
Street kid. Okay. And do you have a knife? Is it a knife you carry? I can't remember.
Yeah, his iconic item is a switchblade.
Like, yeah, you do
He's
that.
very proud of. He's the guy that, like, if anyone mentions knife, he's like, "Oh, I got a knife."
Do you do one of those things where you just get an apple and you peel, like you cut the apple into wedges with your knife?
I imagine he does.
Okay.
He just
You're
uses
that
it
guy.
at completely unnecessary times.
I definitely know that guy from high school. Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Bottom row, Melissa.
I'm Melissa with Adventures in Lollygagging. You can catch us here every other Monday. On alternate Mondays, you can catch us on our channel, twitch.tv/thelollygaggers, where we've got an alien campaign. Also on Fridays, you can catch us on our channel as well for some Delta Green. In this game, I am playing Allison. She is the party girl and twin of Llewellyn.
That's right. And we just realized. No, we won't dive into the naming conventions of your friends. We'll tackle that when the time is right.
It'll come up.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep it going. In the middle, bottom row, bottom square, middle row. I don't know. We should do like a grid, like Hollywood Squares at some point. But we got Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm going to be playing the other Forrester twin, Llewellyn. I'm the jock archetype, and just a real classy meathead.
Real class. Yeah. And you have a car, right? Don't you drive your dad's car?
Yes, I've got a Plymouth Roadrunner.
It's awesome.
Is that what you ended up with, a Plymouth Roadrunner? Okay.
Yes.
How many do this? How many does that seat?
It's just it has a back seat, kind of. So calling shotgun would be very important. It's like we have the salt flats where we can do the drag racing, and it's a hell of a muscle car. But being in the back seat of that vehicle would suck.
Yeah, it definitely
Mhm.
would. Who do you think, when you all drive around together, who do you think actually gets pushed into the back seat?
My character.
Honestly, my sister gets dibs
Yeah.
on the seat.
Okay.
She gets shotgun unless she
Sure.
acquiesces.
So then it's whoever's, yeah. So then it's probably Steven, you get shot into the back. Edward gets shot into the back. Okay, fair enough. All right. It'd be rough to have all of you in that same car. 6 of you in a
Mhm.
Plymouth Roadster.
As a matter of
well,
fact,
it's,
I'm probably in the trunk.
Yeah, I was gonna say somebody can go in the trunk.
Right on. Okay. And then finally, Dan, what's up?
Wait, I'm playing Stephen Grayson, the lone wolf, and so far I've been doing a great job at not socializing. Ta-ding. So we'll see how long I can keep that up.
Probably,
Secretly, he wants the attention.
hopefully not too long. Thanks for the host there, man. Okay. So let's dive in. Oh no, did we lose Melissa? Oh gosh, where'd she go?
covered her camera.
It's probably something with our dog. Okay.
Yeah, and I gotta go release my cat real quick because apparently
Pets.
it got shut in my room and it wants
Tell
out.
you. Pets. Okay, so while they're gone, let me do the summary. So we are in again. It's 1992. It's a southwestern creepy desert mountain town where all sorts of weird stuff happens. We are up in the mountains somewhere, and we got our own little map here. I'll show everyone the map a little bit. So this is our map of endurance. We've got a few places mapped out to some degree. We've got our creepy little requisite military base down in the kind of the southeast over here. We have a fancy lake up to the north where you got rich folk live on the lake, and then there's some old creepy summer camp that no one really goes to anymore for reasons, who knows. And then we got the kind of downtown area where schools are, most people live, that kind of thing. We also have like the meat factory, Ham's Meats, which produce, have been experimenting with aerosolized meats to varying degrees of success, but they're trying. And then for their specific, like the little hideout where they like to hang out is sort of off to the west, away from it all, which is this kind of salt flats area that it doesn't really have anything much anymore. It's just sort of the ruins of an old tourist spa that failed, and previously like the former home of the Ham's Meats factory until they moved to a better location. So basically, this little sandbox campaign started in the first week of November 1992 when a dust storm hit the area, and it caused some weird stuff to start going down. One of the first strange things that we saw was we discovered this teenage girl that they all knew, high school senior. She was made into sand, like colorful sand, just laid out on the ground after a storm, and she sort of just fell apart. She had kind of an ID of her father, who's been out of town or out of her life for years. And that it was like a military ID for Fort Upchurch. We also had the twins, Allison and Llewllyn, who went home later that night and couldn't find their father, but they did find a meat can, a Ham's meat can with apparently animated meat. So the meat was moving, and it seemed to be like sticking to and draining like electricity. It was trying to like grind its way into an outlet. It was like sucking stuff out of a TV screen. And so that was alarming. We've got Steven, who discovered a mechanical bug of some kind. It was like a beetle, but it looked like it had like really careful like microcircuitry, and also seemed to be repelled or at least annoyed by magnets, and was interested in like scarfing up some sand and other components and things like that. Levi has a very overprotective mom, we learned, and his grandfather unfortunately was in some kind of car accident during this dust storm, in which an entire overpass just sort of dissolved, and 3 vehicles fell into a kind of a dry riverbed. And then we've got Edward, who doing some hacking, he discovered kind of a strange newspaper that was dated presumably the weekend of Thanksgiving, which is a few weeks ahead of time, and it showed the entire downtown area of Endurance destroyed and just piles of dirt, and it made no real sense. And then finally, we have Nicholas, whose older brother seemed to have pissed off the military MPs because the military police was there rummaging through his home, pissed off his father. His father got arrested as well. So everyone's kind of has their own problems. Last session, you all explored some of these storylines and you kind of picked at some threads. We had a couple people where we ended up where Levi and Stephen and Nicholas were all at the hospital. Levi was talking to his grandfather, but Nicholas and Stephen were just kind of wandering around, and they noticed kind of two interesting things. They noticed one guy who had like a massive head. His head was like swollen for some reason, and he was taking injections of some kind of radioactive biohazard like material.
I had a question about that too.
Yeah.
Was it like his entire head, or just like the sides of his head and his face was still the same size?
It was just like it was almost becoming a football. Like it was like Stewie Griffin from Family Guy is kind of what it was turning into. To
Hey
some
Arnold.
degree.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you also found which you assumed to have been another person made from sand, and you saw out a window a very rich home up on the mountain to the north near Lake Carrion tumble down the mountain and presumably smash into the summer camp. So you all have that to go on. Edward, you heard that there were some military vehicles that were riding through downtown, and they had some kind of strange piece of equipment that was blaring weird sounds and doing something with like electric signals and such. And it was kind of heading through downtown up to the northwest parts of Endurance. And so there's a lot of little places. You also heard that Ham's Meats is doing like a day labor thing the next day. If you all wanted to skip school and make $100. So yeah,
It's
there's
like some accident happened at their plant, and they were wanting help with like
They're shorthanded on
That's
it.
correct.
cleaning it up.
The rumor is, or at least not even the rumor, it's been confirmed, one of their buildings collapsed. And they're basically hiring people to clean out the rubble, and so that the next so they can make repairs or rebuild it or whatever it might be. So for the sake of ease, we'll say all of you have one way or the other, either through Llewllyn picking you up and driving you there, or maybe you had a bike or you rode the bus or whatever it might be. But all of you, one by one, you make it back to your shared hangout. We'll say it's around 6 o'clock evening. Sun's not down yet. Go ahead, Nicholas.
There's one thing I wanted to do before I left the hospital.
That's
really
fine.
quick. I wanted to scoop some of the sand that used to be a person into some container and take it.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. You could have done that. We can wreck on that. But yeah, one by one, all of you will probably make it to your hideout. Your like kind of pre-dinner meetup, but like post-day. It's not quite night, and all of you are at one of the complexes, one of the buildings in the complex that hasn't collapsed from the dust storm. All of you are hanging out, sharing your information. You can kind of talk about what you guys want to do and where you want to go.
I totally hooked us up with free cable.
Nice.
Okay. Fair enough. So
Maybe if we described the house that fell down, Edward might know whose house it was, since he knows all the rich people.
Okay. Edward, why don't you roll a contact test? See if you can piece it together off the top of your head without doing any kind of research. You can push if you want.
Nah.
Okay.
I don't know offhand.
Yeah, offhand you don't know. Yeah, it's some rich person that I would say you would know, and to some degree all of you probably would know that they're seasonal, right? They don't live there all year round. They probably only show up for like the winter season when it's super nice here.
Snow bunnies.
Yeah, very much.
So it's not one of the party houses, at least. So.
It is not a party house. No, it's
the next day, right?
We're gonna say it's later the same day.
Oh, okay. If we look up on the hill, it's still gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It didn't reappear.
Well, we could always go look into that. Whenever. I imagine somebody's probably going to go clean that up before too long.
So, and you do know that it fell into the summer camp as well. Allison, you know that like one of your like you know Summer and DJ sometimes spend time there. The summer camp is kind of a squatter's haven, so it hasn't really been in. It's been out of business for several years at this point. It was probably purchased by like real estate prospectors who are hoping to kind of expand the Karayan estates that are on the southern side of the lake, but they never did. It kind of borders onto the Crystal Canyon. Back in the day, some of you might have even attended this when you were younger. There was a summer camp, and people would send their kids there over the summer, and they would, do water stuff in the lake, and then they would, since it borders the Crystal Canyon, they would kind of go and do trips into the canyon itself or something like that. And there's also mountains to the north up where those rich folk are, and they might have even done kind of mountain path hiking. So it hasn't really been in business in a long time, though. And so now it's just mostly just homeless folk or young people, runaways, strays, that kind of thing who live there now.
I'd definitely been interested in seeing where that house went. If it like fell and broke apart, or if it like somehow made it down.
Yeah, I'm
mechanically or
wondering
something.
also if it maybe got sanded.
Yeah.
The one other thing I should say is Levi got another one when he was speaking with Tiffany. Tiffany mentioned how there were 6 homes in the suburb on Beaver Ruin Road. 6 homes were tented and were being fumigated because of some kind of like intense wasp, like insect outbreak. And apparently there were pets whose head exploded, she said, at some point. She's very upset about it.
That would
Remember that.
kind of match what happened with that dude in the hospital y'all saw. Or his head was all swollen
Right.
up.
Maybe,
Oh, we
yeah.
got stunned.
That sounds really fucked up. We could take that bug you got in that jar there and let it sting one of you and see if the same thing happens.
I don't think
Or-
it's that bug.
I don't know. I mean, strange wasp, mechanical bugs. I mean, coincidences and stuff, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to volunteer for that.
Yep.
Kind of want
I
to
was
take that
just
bug
joking,
to
like,
the
I-
meeting
I-
tomorrow.
My character
Yeah.
started the nose goes.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, like, I don't know. We're getting anywhere with, what's her face made of sand.
Not
I'm
yet.
alternately checking out news broadcasts from like other cities and going back to MTV just to see if there's any reports about our place being dusted.
No, nothing in particular.
Yeah. And I guess, an apocalypse in a week. That's, I don't even know where to start on that one.
Well, like,
At
I
some
don't
point,
know.
I do want to get to like our school lab or something. Maybe the next day we're at school. I want to see if the sand from the person looks any different than normal sand. Like if it's replacing their body with actual sand, or if it's breaking down their body and making like chunks of sand out of human material.
Okay,
I'm curious about that.
fair enough. Is there anything you want to do tonight? Is anybody looking to do anything tonight?
I want to look at the house that fell.
I think I'm cool with that. We got to find something, right? And
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of little weird things are going on, and it's the easiest one for us to go look at.
Yeah,
You
without
know,
anybody
it's-
really caring what we're doing.
Yeah, it's not like we can go hop the fence and storm the military base. If anyone's going to pick up some day labor tomorrow, we can check out the meat plant. I really don't want to go check out houses covered that have wasps that make heads explode. That's,
That was dangerous.
Yeah.
fucked up. Yeah.
Somebody else drive, and I'll get us donuts and coffee. It's gonna be a long night.
I would be curious
yes.
to go by the tents just to see if it's like exterminator people there or like military people there.
Didn't we hear it was
Oh, yeah.
military or something?
You heard it was exterminators. That's
Exterminator,
that's it. You didn't
okay.
get anything else than that.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should totally
okay.
drive by though. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I like your train of thought there. Maybe it's one of those knockoff things where it's just their white military generic vehicle with a sticker
Yeah.
slapped on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't hurt to, just rubberneck it as we drive by.
Okay. So you get in your car, squeeze in, throw Dan or Steven in the trunk, and and you start traveling eastward. Somewhere in downtown, you probably stop at a Dunkin' Donuts or whatever it is. Edward gets you coffee and get you donuts, and you swing into the suburb. Some of you might even live in the same suburb, but you know that this particular suburb, I'll ping it for you all on the map. So it would be down southeast. As you're driving around, you notice specifically that Beaver Ruin Road is what she described. And Beaver Ruin Road, you would know, is like a curved road that is on the southeastern edge of the subdivision. And it borders first a river wash and a bike path, and then empty desert. And it's just miles of empty desert to the east and southeast until you hit Fort Upchurch. As far as you know, there's nothing else beyond there. You know that the elementary school is in the same subdivision, and sometimes they'll take the kids out onto the bike path and they'll like search for like prairie dogs and stuff because it's a thing that they do because they're the prairie dogs. But when you start driving around, you realize that a lot of the smaller roads are blocked off, and you can see that there are numerous vehicles, some of which look to genuinely be some kind of industrial vehicles, and others look a little bit more suspicious. But you do notice the 6 that are specifically tented are the 6 that are on kind of the southeastern side. They're the ones that border the open desert. So there's like they don't have any neighbors behind them. It's just those 6 that are along the desert, the closest to the wild itself.
And that'd be the desert that's in between them and the fort.
Yes, correct. But yeah, you can tell that you can't there's vehicles that are certainly stopping you. Let's see. Whoever's good at comprehend, or you can go ahead and roll a quick one of those if you want.
I'm not terrible at it.
Go ahead and give it a roll.
How well can I comprehend from inside the trunk of the car?
It's more just kind of doing a drive-by.
Just one person.
More than one person can do it. I would say 2. Let's just say 2 max.
I got 2
Let me,
successes.
Okay.
I
You
got
got an extra one. Okay. So you notice a few things as you're driving past. First, you do notice that there are, like I said, industrial trucks. Some of them look like they have these huge tanks loaded onto the back of them, hoses, other kind of equipment. You do notice, we'll say, Edward, you notice a specific logo on the side of some of these trucks. It just looks like a bee getting swat with something. Nicholas, you look a little bit as well, and you can tell that they're not the only trucks as well. There's a lot of what looks like just black vehicles. Like you see these, these kind of long Crown Mercury types. Some of them also look like more all-terrain vehicles, like Jeeps and things as well. Some kind of tape has been used to just mask off the entire road. And so no one can even kind of get back to that little loop in the back. And you can see that there's workers that are going in and out of some of these homes, and you can see that they're wearing like orange hazmat suits, and you can see some of them are carrying like these metallic cases, and a few of them have like stuff on their shoulders, like almost like Ghostbuster type packs that they're wandering around in. But when your car gets close to that, you can see someone immediately just shines a light right in your faces and just waves you on. And when you get a chance to look, Nicholas, you're not entirely sure what authority this person has. They're not wearing a clear uniform, but they got like a black polo on with some kind of like heavy jacket, and then they've got dark pants on, and then they're just like, like move along, nothing to see here, get on out of here before you all get stung.
And so are those trucks refrigerated trucks?
From this distance, it's hard to tell, but you don't think so.
Okay.
Now, they have like these big cylindrical tanks in the back. And so that's what you see
out there?
on the drive-by.
Interesting.
A lot of chemical to be
Still-
spraying there.
Yeah, and they're still going pretty late now at this point too, right?
Yeah, you're pushing 7 at this point, we'll say.
Have we passed the guy, or we kind of stopped near him?
You'll say you're kind of doing. You're in the middle, like Llewllyn is probably doing like a 3-point turn, getting ready to turn around.
Doing a nice slow roll.
Yeah.
Wave the guy over, shake out my pack of cigarettes, pull one out, say, "Hey man, you got a light? I got a spare
Do we
cig."
want to
What's
pretend
going on?
one of us lives here and we're trying to get in to grab something real quick, or
So in response to Edward, he'll just say, "I don't smoke. Those things will kill you." Just like
Coffee?
What? No, I'm good, thank you. I gotta get back to work, but yeah, y'all don't wanna be here right now. There's never know how many more of these bugs are gonna get all flying around and such.
So did he approach us as he's talking, or is he still?
He's a
little
couple.
bit
Yeah,
away?
he came out a little bit away from the tape.
I wanted to see if I can figure out if he's armed or not.
Sure. Okay. Let's see.
Comprehend.
Investigate, we'll say.
Okay.
Treat that like just an observation almost.
2 successes.
Yeah, you can. He's got a jacket, but he definitely
He's
has.
got a bulge.
Oh yeah.
All right. So does his jacket have a company logo on it or something?
We'll say with 2 success. No, you don't see a company logo actually. It's just a plain black jacket.
Okay. All right.
I'll say for
Yeah.
2 successes though. One thing I will say is that he does have a fairly closely cropped haircut that is indicative of the
Yeah.
men who.
Military.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, no problem, man.
Okay, moving along now.
Gotta pass this on. Hey, that guy was totally Black Ops. He was packing. Did you see the buzz cut?
I've got his
Whoa.
exact jacket here in my house.
Yeah. I tell you, man, I got my money on more of them robot beetles in there.
Totally.
What's
robot wasps.
I mean, what would they say? They want to keep people away from it, and it's some kind of strange robot bug, like, oh, weird robot beetles. Like, no one's going to take that seriously.
Hey, let's
What?
just park somewhere, ditch it, and come back on foot. They won't notice us.
You're killing me, Smalls, but
Can we say that we know, like Joe was saying, can we say we know somebody in the area?
Yeah, but you did learn. Levi did learn from Tiffany that because one of the homes is Tiffany's home, is that they got moved to some kind of hotel.
They've all been evacuated.
They've all been.
right?
Yeah, no
Are
one's
they-
allowed to stay here.
So you said this is like they're tented, but the back of them is the desert, right?
Yeah, like the
Are the
backyards.
trucks completely surrounding both sides of the houses, or only?
You
on
can't see in the
street
back
side?
so much, but there's at least half a dozen trucks that you can see that's in that kind of loop of the road.
I'd be curious if we could see anything from the desert.
we
Looks
getting
like
out
they've
and
got the
huffing it,
road.
or you? We're going to try and take your old beast here, a little off-wheeling or
Yeah,
off-road.
Go out there and
I feel like
bounce
they'd
me around
notice
in the trunk.
the car out there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably put a big plume up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably be better to do it on foot. We wouldn't have to go that far.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm cool going to check that house out, but if y'all want to look at this,
I want to go to look at the house too. I just really quickly want to see if I can see what they're doing in the houses or anything, or
Oh, hey,
You know,
maybe
if I
house
see that
first
there's-
and swing back. I mean, it might
Yeah.
be a little
Yeah.
riskier to go in right now.
give it a little time, hit it up after dark. Yeah.
That's true. Like,
Especially since they just saw us here.
Yeah.
yeah. And they're only going to keep that up for so long if they're trying to pretend like that they're not military.
I don't know, man.
All right, we'll come back later then.
that works.
Okay. So then you get back out. You leave, no problem. They don't stop you or anything, and you get back out on the road and you start heading east. To get to the summer camp, there's a couple different ways you can take. You take the fastest, obviously, but you head east for a bit and you kind of go up the northern highway. You pass by some of the rich folks where they live in their kind of gated communities around the southwest corner of the lake. And eventually you have to take a series of back roads. Like there's all sorts of like little dirt roads and stuff to get back to like whatever the name of this camp is. Camp Crystal Carrion Lake. Okay. That yes, the CCKL camp. So you're driving, Llewllyn. Is anybody helping him, or is it just you're just gonna try to like, let's go ahead and just roll a quick.
I'm helping by putting in distracting music.
Wonderful.
Assume I'm
Thank
helping
you.
by going to just
I saw where the house went
in the back of the
so
car.
I'd be.
Okay.
I imagine I'd be trying to help, like, give directions on where I think we need to go.
Okay, go ahead and roll a comprehend and give yourself a +1 to that, Llewllyn, as you try to navigate these dark roads, these dark, dirty roads after dark. Because at this point, since you made a stop at the suburbs, it's dark now, and you're looking for wherever you can go.
So when you said the left, right, or did you mean the right? Okay, no, okay, I know, I got it.
Eventually, you do see the big entrances, and it basically looks like the Jurassic Park doors, but the doors are on the ground, and it says like camp, and then you see like 3 letters, and then all the rest of them are gone. So basically, it just looks like Camp Cry right now, and that's it. You can see that there is a handful of lights, like these really dull lights somewhere in the distance inside the camp itself. You pass by what looks like a couple as you're driving through. Like there's all sorts of like ruined cabins. You see there's like squatters that are kind of holed up inside some of the cabins, like through the windows. You can see what looks like the vague sign of like a fire that might be brewing. You hear a radio kind of tumbling out of another. But you do see that there are deeper, further into the camp at a certain point, you see the blue and red flashing lights of cops that seem to have. But when you look at the distance, it looks like there's only like 2 cop cars here, and they definitely look like kind of sheriff's vehicles, like endurance cops. But as you're driving around, you notice there's maybe a dozen or more people that are kind of peeking around and looking at what's going on. You do notice that it looks like there's maybe 4 cops that are kind of going around and trying to put out like a crime scene tape around the edge of a lake. You also see that one of the cabins nearest to the lake is completely and utterly demolished and is in pieces. There's debris, almost like a trail of debris. There's a knocked over tree at one point, and then you can see half sticking out of the lake itself this very modern, like Architectural Digest award-winning type home is just sticking halfway up out of the lake as it tumbled and tumbled and tumbled until it got into like the first quarter of the lake.
It was built really well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Allison is gonna kind of point Llewellyn to an area to kind of park where I believe that I know where someone often stays.
Okay.
So I'm gonna kind of point him in the direction of like go park over there.
All right, will do.
All right. So when you park, you know that one of these cabins is kind of I think any one of you that has knowledge of the drug industry or the drug trade within this area would be fairly familiar that this is kind of a place where people go, just like kind of like, I don't want to call it like a heroin den, but it's pretty something similar. But you see, Allison, when
This is totally a heroin den.
Yeah, I was thinking meth house, but yeah,
when you pull up, you can see that there's a handful of like other vehicles. Like there's some bikes and a couple like mopeds and stuff here, all kind of slumming about this cabin that looks like at one point was probably the kitchen for this summer camp. And you can see that one of your friends with quotation mark, excuse me,
Whoops.
is out front and is just strung out like crazy. So DJ is just in a hammock that's flopped down from like this wraparound porch of the building, and he's just like hanging off to the side, and his arms just like he's just drawing little figures in the dirt. And he's like, it looks like he's blowing bubbles, but he doesn't actually have any bubble blower. He's just.
So I'm gonna.
Hey.
Buddy.
So I'm gonna kind of tell everybody to just kind of stay put, and I'll go over and chat with.
Have you guys even let me out of the
DJ.
trunk yet? No.
You open the trunk.
All right,
Steve
all
No, we
opens
right.
just
the
leave
key.
the lid open, so you're just kind of sitting back there.
Okay. So Allison, you walk up, and you can just see he's just looking up at the stars. Look at the stars.
Hey, Deej, how you doing?
What? Hey. Hey. Hey.
It's Allison.
Right. Allison. Your friends with
Friends of summer
Summer.
and autumn.
Summer's a good time, a year. It's very warm.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
Were
hear
you-
that?
What'd you hear?
What?
What? Were you here last night?
Yeah.
Did you see what happened down there?
It happened today.
Oh, sorry.
It happened like just like about 3 or 4 hours ago.
Okay. Did
What?
you see when that house came down the mountain?
The mountain fell. The whole thing came down. It used to be up there. But now it's down here.
Did you see it when it happened?
No.
Oh.
Wait, yes.
You...
I don't. Yeah, I did. It was a magical. It was like an angel fell from the sky and knocked a house down a mountain when it landed.
So you saw something before the house fell?
No, maybe.
That's
Hey,
great.
I think Summer died.
What are you talking about?
She wasn't breathing, and I think you need to breathe, right? I don't need to anymore.
Deej, where's Summer?
Before I tell you, she's inside.
And so she's gonna like gesture to everybody, and go inside.
Okay. So you run inside.
All along if she motions, yeah.
Okay. So as you guys are going back, he's like, hey, guys. And he's like reaching up and grabbing something and handing it to you. Here. Take a star.
I'll take it from him,
Here
and,
you go.
and then I'll give him something too.
Here. Oh. Here. Take another one. And he just starts clawing up like Steven's shirt, like, hey, if you wait a while, I can get the moon too.
Oh, bang.
And he's constantly and he falls out of his hammock and it's just crawling in the ground on his belly.
I'll come back and check on that in a minute.
Okay. Allison, you go inside, and there's like 6 people in here, all sitting around what looks like some kind of, barrel drum of something, and there's like a little bit of a fire coming out. It's kind of smoky and coffee in here, or smoky, and people are coughing, I should say. There's a variety of small little like areas where people have been sleeping. It smells just horrific in here. You can see it looks like probably feces in the corner, possibly animal, possibly not. And you do, in fact, find Summer, who is curled up in the corner of a room, and she has like all sorts of blankets thrown on top of her.
Hopefully she's not in the toilet corner.
No, she's not in the toilet corner.
So Allison will just kind of pick her up and kind of throw her over and take her outside.
Okay. All
It's
right.
too smoky and everything inside.
Okay. So you bring her out. Someone could probably help you too if there was trouble. But yeah, you bring her outside, drop her on the ground. I think. Or
I'm
do you,
checking for breathing and
very faint, but she is a little bit of a heartbeat issue going on there. You think she has one, but it's fairly faint.
shit.
We need to get her to the hospital.
I probably, I thought she's not supposed to be here. She and Deej haven't been together for a bit. She was supposed to be clean, but I guess not.
DJ
What?
comes over, by the way, and he's like, "Give her this. Give her this. This'll help. Take it." Llewllyn, you look at it, and it's just an acorn.
Since Edward's a dealer, would he have a decent shot of figuring out what she's strung out on?
Yeah, probably. You'd probably be able to put two and two together. Just keep her conscious, get her fluids and stuff like that. She'll probably be okay. If it depends on how long she's been doing. You see some. You don't see any like track marks specifically, so she's probably been smoking something. You think?
Yeah, check her nose, check her mouth, look at her eyes. It's
Yeah.
all right.
Do we need to take her somewhere, or do you think?
Oh
we
yeah,
can just-
yeah. She's ODing. Yeah.
You know, I hate to capitalize on
Summer.
the situation, but we could maybe get rid of some of those cops by having them take her somewhere, take her to the hospital.
Whoa. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Do we want to talk to the cops about what we're doing up here?
I mean,
I was
Hey,
going to
we heard there was a party. Looks like a party.
I'll just say I was looking for my friend, and that's my friend, and she needs help. So
Okay.
maybe I don't even have to lie.
Maybe not all of us should show our faces to the cops, because it's a lot of us.
yeah,
You're looking.
yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, I don't think the car's gonna fit all of us and her anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll hang for a bit.
Good idea though.
Okay, who's gonna go talk to the cops?
I'll go if anybody wants to go with me.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
I'll go with two.
All right.
We don't want to crowd it, so I'll stay.
Okay, so the three of you, the twins and their cousin, wander over, and you can see that again. They're trying to rope off using some of like these broken tree trunks where like the trees got knocked over. Some of the some other places that are just wrapping this big caution yellow tape around. But really, they're just trying to cordon off like this section of the lake shore. You can also see that there's like a lot of debris on the ground, like broken glass, broken metal, stuff that probably scattered out a bit as it was falling. And when you approach, like one of them immediately turns again the flashlight in your face, like, hey, no, yellow line, no crossing.
We're not trying to get in. We need your help.
Okay. Everyone just stay calm. All right. What you need our help with?
My friend, I think she's Odink. Just come.
Listen. He kind of looks and he's like, yeah. All right, fine. Hey, Stevie, I'm gonna go help this one out. So Llewllyn and Nicholas, roll. You guys can, while you're here, like just briefly, while Allison's doing the talking, you get kind of like a quick look if you want. So go ahead and roll investigate, really quick.
Okay. I had two things I wanted to investigate.
Sure. Oh yeah, if there's something specific you're looking for, let me know.
Specifically, I wanted to see if I recognized the cops as like town cops, or if I think they're more military personnel.
No, they have uniforms on. They look like town cops.
Okay.
That you can get without even rolling. Two fails. Do you guys, either one of you want to reroll? Push.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna use my shame.
Okay.
Get
Tapping into that nice and early.
yeah,
Like, you're not going to fail at seeing this thing, whatever it is I'm supposed
yeah.
to see.
It's like, I know there's supposed to be something up here. And
Okay.
tap into that.
Wearing his
So,
shoes on the wrong feet.
So with one success, I'll give you this. When you get to the shoreline, like, it's kind of strange because the house itself is like coming up out of the water, so to speak, but it's not so much the water, it's more of like a mud, like this thickish mud that it seems stuck in. And there's like, when you the lake itself, it's like a brackish black water, pretty standard lake stuff, right? And then there's just this surprisingly reddish brown big chunk of mud that it seems like the house is kind of almost 3/4 dipped into, and it's only surrounding this particular house. You see, it doesn't seem to be anywhere else. And in one of the other deputies is kind of walking out and wading into it, and you can see that they're getting super stuck. And as they're moving, they just become completely stuck. And then like the other two are kind of yelling at each other, and like you see they throw one of them a line and kind of pull them out and stuff. And like, what in the damn hell is this stuff? This God, they gotta clean. I don't know what these damn squatters are doing. This better not be what I think it is, because he probably thinks it's not, anything good. But yeah, you notice that there's like this big chunk of strange mud that just seems to be hardening around the area. Okay. So, Allison, you head back with the cop while Llewllyn and Nicholas kind of linger and peek around a bit while everyone seems to be distracted. And then you bring them, him back, and he looks down at your friend, shines a light, kind of does, okay, and he gets on his, he starts calling an ambulance and just like, okay, it's all right. She's gonna, ma'am, and it's just like, give her some room to breathe, and just sort of waves you off at this point, like it's under control, everything will be fine.
Ellison is not pleased with his sort of slow demeanor.
Well, I called an ambulance. I don't know what else you want.
Do you have anything in your car that could help her while we're waiting?
What do you mean, do I have anything in my car?
No, I'm not a cop. Just something useful, helpful.
Aren't you trained as like a first responder or something, man?
I mean, it's like my first week on the job, I'm a trainee.
are all of you guys trainees?
No? Some of
Why
us
did
are
you get one of
trainers.
them?
Listen, I don't think I like the tone of your voice, young man. What's your name? Pulls out a little bag. I want all your names right now.
I gave him my brother's name.
Okay. We got an APB out for you. And you see him go for his gun. I want you down on the ground right now. Right this instant.
Younger brothers is what I meant.
What's that?
Yeah.
Other
I
brother.
meant my younger brother's
Your
name.
younger brother? You're throwing your younger brother under the bus? Okay, okay.
No.
All right. If it's your younger brother, we'll let it go. But yeah. Okay.
Oh God, I thought we were about to have to fight a cop.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I wanted to do my younger brother. That way, like, if they go looking around for him, they'd be like, yeah, this kid?
Yeah. So he's just, he hangs out with her, kind of clear, like checks the mouse, just starts giving her some water and stuff, and just like, it's okay. Y'all better clear out from here. We're about to have some more visitors here. You might not want to, yeah, he probably would search y'all, but we're not playing in the real world. And he's a bad cop. So he's like, yeah, y'all want to get on out of here before I start asking any additional questions while you're here. So you can just take your tone and take yourselves out of here.
After the ambulance comes, I need to make sure that she's going to be okay. After the ambulance comes. And like, I'm just sort of parked next to her. Like, I'm not moving.
Do you need a hand pulling your buddy out of that gunk?
So you're over by the other one. You're back by that, and they're like, you can see they're struggling. Like they pull him out, and kind of look over at you, like, What are you doing here? Get on out. Don't you see the yellow line? Get back from the yellow line.
Looks like you're having a hard time, man. I'm just, if you want a hand.
And one of them's like, he actually looks pretty big. He could probably help us here. Fine. All right. You come on under the line. You can come under the line.
Okay.
So you wander over, and you can see that they've thrown like a rope out to him of some kind, just something they had, and they're trying to pull him out, and he's just stuck. So go ahead and roll a force test.
All right. In theory. There we go.
You want to push that?
Yeah,
Hey, Goblin Cave TV, thank you for the raid.
What a horrible roll that was.
Yeah, I know.
We are.
See, I will push that.
Go ahead and push.
Jeez.
There we go.
There we
Llewllyn
are.
doesn't want to look stupid.
There we go. You don't look stupid. And you don't look weak. In front of in front of these cops or Goblin Cave TV that just raided. So thank you for the raid. And the three of you are able to just yank him free, and you hear him go, "Hurrah! Jeez!" You pull him out, and you can see that like his shoes are gone, right? Part of his pants are like kind of been ripped off a bit, and he's just kind of got this like empty foot, and his foot's got all bruised and stuff around on it. Yeah, he looks to be in a bit of pain.
What the hell is going on out there?
I don't know. It hurts, man. I think I broke something. Oh, God dang. And he's just kind of reaching down. These don't seem like the brightest people.
Like, maybe should get like a stick or something, and then like wrap it around. Take the stick and then wrap it around next to your leg or something.
What are you, some kind of doctor?
No, but like I saw it in a movie once.
His owner's like, yeah, I mean, he's talking about like making a splint. Like that's actually not a bad idea. Like, so you see, like one of them's like definitely gonna spend some time like wrapping up some stuff, and they're just pulling it away. As you're here, you can see that the ever so slowly, like that radius of mud keeps expanding a bit.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
While I'm helping him, is there any chance I can like grab a chunk of that weird clay and just pocket it or something?
Okay. Just with your hand, or do you have something on you?
I don't know that I. Yeah, probably just with a hand. Like put it into either a jacket pocket or a pants pocket, just to look at later.
Okay.
You got one of those tissues from the donuts and coffee.
Okay.
I was gonna say like a coffee.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
You have a coffee cup, dump it out, take a scoop. Yeah, no problem. Okay. All right, so back over at the other place, the ambulance has shown up. It's been abundantly clear that you're not supposed to be anywhere near this. They're working on your friend. They're loading her up into the back. Doesn't seem very good. Doesn't seem that she's in particularly good shape. But they're ready to get out of here. Do you stick around, or do you chase after the ambulance?
No, I will stay. Now that I know that she's doing better, I'm gonna go over to DJ, and I'm just gonna haul off and punch him in the arm. Like,
Okay.
and he's gonna get a piece of my mind. Like, we've been down this circle before, so everybody just sees, not that it's gonna do any good, but it'll make her feel better.
Okay.
That she's pretty pissed off at him.
So you
and-
start punching this guy, and he's just like, as you continue, and he doesn't fight back. He's just like, you're punching him, kicking him. He's laying around on the ground. Eventually, the cop sees this and comes out. All right, what is wrong with you? Get away from him.
The guy's just scum, just a piece of shit, and she's just
All right,
kicking the dirt. And
all right. So he's just like, if you don't get away from here, okay, there's gonna be two of you. I'm gonna load up in the back of my car instead of just him. You got me?
yep, fine, whatever.
Okay.
Just and she'll kind of spit it out, but she'll be like, and thank you, because her friend is
Okay.
on her way to get help, but she's
All right. So
I'm
you can
pissed
see
off
that
about the
he
whole
just
thing.
starts like cuffing up Deej as you guys walk away. So you guys have reconvened at this point. You can see that there's a little bit more activity now around the area. But what do you want to do?
I was kind of hoping that while they've got the cops distracted, to just kind of wander off up towards where the house came down.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. Is
Yeah, I'll
anybody
tag along
going with you?
that.
Yeah,
I'll
if
tag
I
along to
see
that.
him slipping off, I'll tag along
Okay,
too.
so we'll say the three of you are slipping off while the other three of them are kind of messing around. Okay. It's a bit of a hike up the mountain a bit, but it's easy enough to track it because you can see like the damage along the way. But it is a hike, especially if you're not taking any of like the mountain paths that kind of lead up to these fancy houses, and you're just doing a straight up hike up it. So all of you go ahead and roll force test to see your conditioning level.
This is where he dies.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'll probably go ahead and re-roll this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Edward, yeah, you're wheezing a little bit. You start to halfway up, you feel your energy level is really starting to deplete.
Tonight's a good night to die.
Fortunately, Steven gets your extra success, so maybe Steven puts an arm underneath
Got one
you.
to share with you.
Yeah, and kind of hurries you up the rest of the way. Edward, I still want you to take a condition though. We'll say that you're you're getting
Exhausted.
winded, exhausted.
Yeah.
But eventually you guys do make it up towards the site where this kind of fell down from. Like this particular building fell down from. You can see you guys have flashlights or anything? I assume
I mean, probably something small like that.
emergency light or something from
right?
Yeah. We'll say one of you is smart enough to have one.
Chemical glow sticks.
Okay. So you get some chemical glow sticks out. And you get up to this like kind of the housing grounds, and you can tell that there's still some stuff intact up here. It looks like just the main house collapsed, but it also looks like there is a guest house of some kind. It looks like there's some kind of storage shed. It looks like there is some kind of like boardwalk path like that leads even further up the mountain.
I think the main
Hold
area
on.
starts-
I gotta catch my breath. Hold on a minute.
And there's also looks to be a covered pool.
I think the main area to start is just where the house was.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you all heard DJ say that, like,
Something came down.
yeah,
You know, that might have been a load of shit, but who knows?
you know.
So you take a look around, and all of you who are investigating that, you should go over an investigation.
There we go.
Okay.
Ooh, nope.
Whole bunch of successes.
All right, Stephen, Edward, you notice a few things. You notice, first of all, that part of the house was basically on stilts. It was kind of built into a slope, and so some of the house was on stilts, and you can see some of those stilts are still intact. When you look at them, it looks like they just kind of like fell apart. Like you don't see any signs of like cracking. You just see like they're just almost smooth at the end where they kind of split off. And then when you kind of reach out and touch them, you can see that the stilts themselves just starts to crumble like it's sand. Just they
Dude,
fall
that's
apart.
what I was wondering. I might try and scoop a little bit of that up.
Yeah, no
so we
problem.
Just got a little more sand.
Yeah. You also notice that the pool itself looks like the covering of the pool was disturbed by something, and some stuff kind of fell into it. Looks like there's an awning that kind of fell into it, and there's this chunk of mud that's square in the middle of the pool that seems to be slowly radiating outwards. And when you touch it and you kind of like poke it with something, you can see that it is almost like a hardened gelatin, like it's not fully cracked. It's got kind of like a orange brown, reddish brown color, and you can see there's a big old awning in the middle. The pool itself's not
Surely they
particularly
got
big.
like a pool net. If they got a pool, they got a pool net. Is it small enough that we could like scoop it out? With
Yeah.
the pool net.
Yeah. You can get some of it. It's a big chunk. It probably takes
Big
up
chunk.
like 1/3 of the pool, like the center mass,
okay.
where the awning fell into it.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll try and scoop some out and just put it on the ground next to the pool and see what it does.
Yeah, you
Does
pull it
keep-
out, drop it on the ground outside, and it's just this mass. It's just this orange mass it's got a wet look to it, like it's almost like it's clay in a way. But when you start poking it, it doesn't really form. Like it's fairly sturdy. Like it doesn't reshape easily.
Does it look like it's still growing now it's out of the pool?
It looks like it's kind of soaking up the water. And as you watch it for a little while, since you've got so many successes, as you watch it for a while, at a certain point, the water becomes fully absorbed, and you can no longer see the kind of slick kind of outer color of it, and that's when it seems to stop kind of growing and absorbing. If that makes sense.
Odd.
I kind of, sounds like it matches some of the other shit we found, like, things turn into sand and
I want to see if I can figure out the extent to how far the sand process has taken. Like, find some just rocks laying around.
Mhm.
And so,
Find a
I
radius.
know that beam disintegrated. So, next beam over, pitch a rock at it and see
Mhm.
how much of the house is disintegrating.
Yeah, you can tell that, like, you go through each one of the stilts, the beams, and they're all
They're all gone.
yeah,
Oh,
they're
wow.
all in the process of going. You can tell probably what happened is, like, the stilts gave out, the thing tipped down onto the stilts, and then started the tumble at that point.
Or anything other than the stilts turning to sand, or is it just?
Yeah, there's a couple odds and ends around here. You see, like, there's a big kind of boulder display, like a kind of a fairly nice, like, Xeriscape setup. When you go over to it, there's a fountain in the middle that when you kind of touch it, it just sort of collapses. You can see it just ushers away a little bit of sand.
I remember there was like beetles last time. Are we seeing it? Like, if we dig through any of that?
You dig through it, you do not find any beetles, no. So yeah, there's also a guest house, a little storage shed, and then there's like what looks like some kind of path, like a boardwalk path with steps that goes further up the mountain.
I mean, we might be able to run up there and see if something came from even higher up, maybe. But
yeah. Well, if dude was talking about something falling from the sky, you think this bit in the pool is it?
maybe.
I'm cool going higher up too to see if we see anything else.
And I might see if I can take a chunk of it and pocket it too.
Easy enough. Okay, if
I'm
you
going to
decide,
pocket a bunch of stones so
Okay.
that if they want to try and go into the building and test it first to see if it's going to crumble, just tossing a stone ahead.
okay, you start tossing stones ahead, and you notice that the guest house seems okay, but when you throw them at the shed just starts to collapse. Yeah.
Dang.
So like when you throw them at the shed, though, it just makes like a big hole in the side of the wall, and you look inside, and it really just looks like gardening equipment's in here. And you keep throwing some rocks into it, and you can see like a weed whacker, a rake, stuff like that. They all just start to crumble apart, like turn into dust.
Wow.
So then there's the guest room, or the guest house, and the stairs that go up.
Throw a rock at the guest house real quick.
You throw a rock at
Yeah.
the guest house, and you hear a crash as you break a window.
Well,
Seems
that's-
solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, up we go.
If anyone who's going up the stairs to the top of the mountain, roll another force test.
Oh, no.
If you're staying here and just going to the
I
guest,
think I'll just keep a lookout, guys.
okay. Okay, two of you guys are
Yeah.
fine. Levi, Steven, you both make it up to the very top. When you get to the top, you realize you are quite literally at a flattened portion, like this, what almost looks like a meditation area. You can see that there's like a stone and sand garden up here, and like a rake for like combing the sand.
Then garden.
Yeah, it's like this beautiful, and you would imagine like if you were here at sunset, this would have looked gorgeous because it looks kind of like north and west and away from Endurance. And when you guys look out there, it's just sort of like emptiness for like as far as you can see. It's fairly dark up here. You don't notice as you go around, like touching some of the boardwalks, touching some of the setups for the plants. None of them seem to collapse. They all seem to be intact. You do notice one peculiar thing a little bit out. Since you have flashlights, it's just sort of on the edge of your flashlights. You can look down and there's a series of cacti like down a little bit further down this like rocky slope, and it's further north, and there's this peculiar discoloration, whereas the cacti that are closer to you seem to be healthy and kind of greenish, and the ones that are immediately past are this like they're kind of collapsing inwards on themselves, brownish in some way. They look sickly, and they're all within a fairly short span of each other, so it's kind of peculiar to see a few just kind of go like that. But the ones that are right close to you look good. The ones that are further away look bad.
I wonder if it's more of this mud stuff sucking water out of them, maybe.
Only the one thing we can do.
All right, you climb on down, take a
Yeah.
look, and as you're looking, roll an investigation.
At least one.
Okay.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I got
Levi.
3. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys notice a couple things. One, it's not like you notice that as you're looking at the two cacti, like the cacti that are like further away, further down the slope, they're definitely like rotted to the core, like just completely rotted to the core. But you do notice that there's like this line between them where you see like kind of greenish coloring of certain plants and stuff. You see some desert flowers that are blooming on your side, like towards where the house is. But then further down the slope, it's just nothing but like deadness. It's just everything's just plain and empty and dead. And like there's a very stark line. And you start walking, and you can almost like walk in a line and follow it, where there's kind of greenness and blossoms towards you, and then there's just decay and brownness away from you further down the slope. And you just continue to walk and walk, and you find yourself walking almost to the edge of this mountain, this little cliff area, and you can track that line perfectly. Then you start walking in the other direction, and you can see it does the exact same thing. Like you're literally walking on a line, and on one side it's healthy, on the other side it's not. And with your extra successes, Levi, you notice two things. One is far to the east and one is far to the west, but you see these blinking lights up in the sky. These kind of like reddish blinking lights up in the sky. And as you stand there and kind of align yourself for a minute, it almost looks like the line is perfectly between those 2 points. So like way to the east, up in the air somewhere, you can see this blinking light. Way to the west, up in the air, you can see this blinking light. And those are like the two endpoints, and there's this line in between. Your side, healthy, far side, unhealthy. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Did I describe that okay?
It does. So like 2 radio towers, and the immediate line between them's the divider between alive and not. And so it's the opposite side to the house where all the plants are going south.
You
Or-
noticed nothing but blooming flowers by this house, by the top of the mountain you were on. It wasn't until you got further down the mountain that everything kind of, like on the north side of the mountain, that everything kind of started to just kind of sicken and die. It almost looks like major drought conditions to the north.
Yeah.
Where everything's just dying, and you don't really see that on your side.
All right. So I'll point that out to Steven. Like, hey man, like there's 2, I don't know, like them lights, like maybe like radio towers or some shit.
Oh, I can pop my my Walkman real quick and see if it picks something up weird.
Sure, man.
Okay. So you put your Walkman on and see if it picks up something.
Because I mean, we had that happen at the other place, so can't hurt.
Yeah, nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
69 dudes.
Yeah. 60
Should have been wild success.
Yeah, it should be a wild success. Okay, you're right. It should be a wild success. We'll make it a wild success. You hear something pop up onto your Walkman as you turn the radio on. You realize at first you just had like your tape was playing, and you're like, why is this is weird. It's Boyz II Men again. And then you turn it off and you put the radio part on, and you've got no music again. It's just a series of numbers.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll start trying to write them down with something.
Okay. Yeah.
Just on the off chance that pattern means something to somebody.
Yeah. So it's this really long, like a 20-digit number, and then another really long 20-digit number. When you look at them, the two of them, they're really similar. They're actually just maybe like 2 or 3 off. But it's not like it's counting though. It's not getting higher. It's not getting lower. It's just that in that 20-digit span, like 1 or 2 numbers were just off.
Okay, so it's like a really close sequence that they're just repeating, I assume.
No, if you continue to listen, like you'll get another loop as it'll now list another 20-digit number that's
Slightly off.
that's drastically different from the first two, and then a second, then another. So it's almost like in pairs. Like there's 2 long numbers, slightly different, and then another 2 long numbers, slightly different, and then another 2 long numbers. If you do that, if you sit around for like 30 minutes and listen in, that's what you hear.
Okay. I'll
Sounds
just
like
write-
some
basically
Edward
write-
shit right there.
Yeah, I'll just write down some of them until I get bored, which probably won't take long.
So
Doesn't mean shit to me.
I'm gonna shift over then. Let's go back to the camp really fast. At this point, the 3 of you who are here, Llewllyn, you've been able to get a bit of the mud. Allison, you've seen your friend off. She's gone off. Like the cop has also gone and put the Deej in handcuffs and thrown him into his car and hasn't driven off or anything at that point.
I'll be right back too.
But you can see a few more vehicles have now shown up as well. And as you guys are here, you notice that they're not cop vehicles. You can see that there's these sort of black vehicles that start rolling in.
Whoa, that looks serious. As he's like wrapping something around the one dude's leg.
And okay, yeah, if you're still doing that, he'd be like, "Oh no, there goes neighborhood." Okay, you better get on out of here. You better hustle. Thank you for your assistance.
Yeah. Okay.
It is time for you to extradite yourself from this here area and do so on the double.
Okay.
So you
So were we aware that the other 3 went off? I imagine.
yeah, I imagine you guys probably give each other a nod or a signal or something like that. So you're kind of aware at this point.
I'd probably try and find a way to break off and give them a heads up. Like, hey, people coming in.
So you can see that these vehicles that show up, some of which are like, they're carrying multiple people. They're like, you can tell pretty quickly that they're military vehicles. And you can see folks start pouring out of the backs of them and start spreading out around the area. And you can see some of them are entering into a few of these cabin buildings, and they're just like very meanly and roughly just like ushering people out. Like they're not even care. They're dragging people out. They're pushing people out. Like, let's go. And they're just herding folks up. What are you guys doing in this process?
If
I'd
Allison
be
was
attempting
talking,
to sneak back to the other 3.
yeah, I think Allison might notice that Llewellyn was talking to the cop and go over and just try to do a quick flash of the car headlights.
You can see that your car might be blocked in at this point.
Mm. Oh boy.
Try and wait them out in the woods until we can, or Pick up on the trail.
Yeah. Yeah, we we were just doing some late night hiking or something.
See if we can get the car later.
Yeah, we're not driving anywhere right now.
Okay, so you guys are just gonna try to go hide.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
try and regroup with the other three.
Yeah, go meet
alert
up
them,
with them.
and then
Oh, so you're gonna try to
Yeah.
you're gonna try to catch up. You're gonna try to go up there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Then go ahead and roll your force test as you climb up the mountain. Radio signal. That's what they found. Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, go ahead and take a point there, Nicholas. But it's
Alright.
you get a little winded as you get on up there, but eventually you'll get up there. You probably get up there as Edward is rummaging around the guest house. So Edward, inside the guest house, which is easy enough to get into once the window is broken, you can see that there's some pretty fancy looking artwork that has been hung on the walls. It's a very modern look to it. You can see that there are a series of like magazines that have been splayed out in a very neat sense on the table, and then there is a very small kitchen. But as you're looking around, like you can tell the inside doesn't seem to have been affected by anything. It looks to be, and like everything's kind of sturdy when you hit the walls and the floors and stuff when you wander in here. But it's all pretty solid. You do notice that there, however, is a magazine on the table that catches your eye, and it's kind of one of those moments where a light kind of dawns on you, and you can see that there's an architectural digest magazine. And that's when you realize, like, oh, that's right, the person who lives here is some kind of like fancy architect. That's what it is. And kind of put two and two. You can't remember the name specifically, but now, like, you when you start just seeing all these architecture magazines kind of all over the place, and we can say you pick one up, you can probably get the whole address. And there's a woman by the name of Aura Kelly. So what do you want to do in here, Edward, other than that?
I don't know. Wow, if that's what I'm seeing. So, have they come back yet with the car?
We'll say while you're in here, you'll hear the voices, and you can look outside, and you can see there's the twins. There's Nicholas. They're coming up from below. They're coming up. So you're still like kind of mostly up. You're still at like the housing site, the house site, and they've now joined you. But Levi and Steven, who went further up the mountain, haven't come
Still
back down
there.
yet. Yep.
Right. So I'll relay that. It's like, wasn't really up for the hike. Kind of winded. But the other guys, it's been 15 minutes. I haven't heard anybody scream or anything.
Probably
I
longer
guess
than
if
that, actually. It's probably like half an hour.
Okay. Oh wow, half an hour. I
Did
mean,
you see all the headlights below?
sorta.
Yeah, when you look down, you can kind of see him vaguely. Down by
There's
the
a bunch
camp.
of trucks and stuff there now. The car's blocked in. So
I guess we got to go after them.
Yeah.
Actually mute the audio and decide if the sirens I'm hearing are actually in real life or
No, they're in
Dude,
real life. I
damn.
hear them too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
right, because
wait
you
a
guys are
minute,
right next to each other. Yeah.
This is like perfect ambiance.
And then your house collapses on you, and you have like sand in your hair.
It's all sand.
Oh, sorry,
Ah,
guys.
shit.
Yeah, it's like
I didn't
point out,
realize
like,
my
hey,
power.
don't go near that. Don't go there near that. And like, there's some weird black stuff over there. Don't touch that.
I'll say this, Llewllyn, when you look at the pool, it's the exact same thing you saw by the lake.
Yeah, I got some of that in my coffee cup here. It was weird down there by the house.
Think it's the same stuff?
Totally.
Well, let's make sure. Dump out a coffee. Yeah, he showed me his, so do the same thing.
Yeah, I show you mine. You show me yours, man.
So this got awkward, but yes, they look exactly the same. Your guys' things are they look exactly the same.
Oh, push down the little popper on the lid so you know not to drink it. Diet Coke. I'll never drink that.
But yeah, you're pretty confident. They look identical.
So, what happened with your friend?
They brought an ambulance over. Just freaking cops have just no urgency. I don't think they give a shit about anybody that's out here. I think they just assume people OD and they don't really care. But Summer's on her way to the hospital and they're like rounding everybody up. Like we came up here because once the guys in the black trucks came, they just started going through all the cabins and they're just pulling everybody out.
Wow.
We probably gotta get going too then.
Yeah, let's go after the guys. You a little worried. Half hour.
Well, if you're not feeling good, you stay here and I'll keep
I
going up and
don't know that I want to now. I mean, guys in black vans and cops everywhere.
I don't think they saw us leave. I think they're focused ground level right now, just clearing everything over there.
Well, right, but if your car's blocked in, they're gonna run your plates. They're gonna know we're still here.
Well,
Yeah.
true. Either way, we got to go get them though.
Yeah. Let's go. I'll bring in the rear.
Yeah. But dude, you like, just, put a hand over, man. I'll help you out.
Yeah.
The officer and a gentleman, right? Richard Gere as Deborah Winger.
I mean, we did, show each other, so
It's still
next logical step in the relationship.
romance.
Hand holding.
Steven and Levi.
Hey, look, just because my dad is into that. No.
Steven and Levi. You guys doing anything else up here?
Other than maybe trying to gather up some stuff from that burnt area.
It's not burnt. It
No.
just looks like it's just
Or
like
decayed.
super drought, like
Yeah.
like an intense drought.
No, if he, if Steven's got numbers recorded and I see the 2 points of lights, I want Edward's help with this.
Okay.
So I would be waiting,
Okay.
Yeah.
So halfway down, so we'll say you guys work your way down, they work their way up, and you meet like halfway. So no reason to roll force test or anything. 'Cause you don't get all
Something
the
I
way
might
up.
do just while we're on our way down is see if I can like keep an eye on one of them. Like see if I can get a
Mhm.
idea where it might be as we go on our way down.
Yeah, that's fine. It's pretty faint, but like it's kind of a clear night, not really an overcast, so you can kind of see it. With the fact that you can't really see it from, from like downtown area and stuff, you would imagine like it's probably east of the canyon. So it's pretty far east, like meaning like the canyon and then like the, on the northeast and then the military base and the southeast are kind of like the end of Endurance. And after that, it's just like you're traveling to like Colorado or something. So it's somewhere east of the canyon. To the west, you would probably peg it somewhere north of the Salt Flats. Is if you were kind of doing like a kind of a sort of base geography in your head.
Yeah, it might be something we can try and look into later. Get a feel for where it's at. Maybe we can pick another night and try and eyeball it down. And
We're talking about these lights, right?
yeah.
I got a hunch that it's like a series of them, man. Like some kind of like
Maybe there's
you
even
saw
more of 'em.
like the things where like the shock collars for dogs with the invisible line things. Like what if it's like that? Like what if it's this
Oh.
giant?
Like it's a big grid and they maybe only activated like a small part of it.
Yeah, something like that, man. Or like it's a boundary marker. I don't know. I need Levi's help. Not Levi. I'm Levi. I need Edward's help. He's the smart one here.
Okay, so what do you guys want to do about the car and getting out of here? It's a long walk back to town from here. So what do you guys want to do?
I can get it. Just give me your keys. I got you. Listen, I'll just go down like, hey man, like went up for a few beers up on the mountain. Like, I didn't know there was weird shit going on. Like, I'm just getting out of here. And like, y'all meet me like, around the corner or some shit.
Did they actually like block the car in, or is it just in not a great position right now?
It's not more like not a great position. Like
Yeah.
the entrance to the camp is sort of cordoned off a bit with a bunch of trucks and stuff. So it would be fairly obvious if suddenly this roadster starts 3-point turning its way out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Has anything changed with the activity level? Like, are the local cops still
Yeah.
there? Has anything changed?
If you work your way down, yeah, you can definitely see that you don't see the blue and red lights anymore for the normal cops. Looks like some lights have been set up, like those stand floodlights.
Work lights.
Yeah, so work lights have been set up mostly around the lake area where the building has crashed.
Be
And-
cool if we stole a cop car.
You're a wild man, Edward. I fucking love you for it.
I mean, it'd be cool, but probably also bad.
Well, it's not like we gotta go far. We just gotta drive it into town and just leave it on the corner somewhere.
You think they wouldn't notice?
Well, I mean, yeah, there's flashing lights all over the place. They're all like involved in other things. They might not notice.
Okay,
Just
tell you
like-
what, you do that first, and then after they all start chasing you, then I'll drive my car out of here.
All right.
Oh shit, I didn't mean it.
Start heading over to a cop car.
There's no cop cars left. It's just military vehicles now.
Just the military
Yeah.
vehicles. All right.
Ah,
Yeah, don't do that. They will shoot you.
Probably, yeah.
So if you guys got any closer from where you're at now, I would ask for sneak tests. So it's kind of up to you.
Man,
Yeah,
really
I mean,
wanna
like-
see.
I mean, I guess my point is like,
Well, hey, did the house still have electricity in part of it? I mean, if the phone's still working, just call a cab.
I mean, we could do that.
yeah. Call a cab up to the building up there and just skip this for now and come back to
Yeah,
the car
just
later.
tell them to meet us down the driveway or something, so they won't
I mean,
see.
worst case, they might impound your car.
I don't know. I think they got bigger fish to fry right now than, of course, the problem is if we leave the car here tonight and if
Still
it's
gotta come back
anything
and
like
get
those
it.
damn wasps, they're still probably going to be there tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of us just sneaks down there, gets the thing going, drives it out with all the lights off, and picks everyone else up.
I've got the best sneak, I think.
Maybe.
You would
Look,
be a
I
sneaky
got bad
bastard.
lungs
yeah.
and a pack-a-day habit. It ain't gonna be me.
It's not you.
All right, Nikki.
All right, Nicholas, if you're gonna, so you hand him over the keys, Llewllyn. Roll your sneak
Okay.
test.
Right.
You got it, man.
Okay.
Ooh.
Successes.
Oh
Two
my.
successes. So you are very careful as you work your way down. You stay among behind trees, behind buildings, behind rocks as best you can. It's bright down there in most places at this point, so it's fairly easy to keep an eye on where the personnel is. You also notice that it's not just like there's people down here with like big old guns, but there's also like folks in like lab coats and stuff, and it seems like they're setting something up. Like you see people are setting up some kind of tent lab area as you wander down. Now, fortunately, the car where you guys left it is at a cabin that's a little earlier, closer to the front of the camp, whereas where the building kind of tumbled into the lake is a little bit further in the back. So
That seems to be like where they're setting up
yeah.
the lab and stuff is
Yeah,
around
there's
the building.
there's still like military. There's definitely vehicles. Like they set up some kind of roadblock by the entrance, but you're able to get into the car, stealthily start it up, and drive back towards the with your lights off and stuff, back towards the front. But you do see that there's two vehicles that have been put on either side of the road, at either side of like the Jurassic Park entrance. like they're blocking anyone coming in and out. Now, you can drive this off road. You can off road this a bit if you want to give that a try.
Do I see anyone in the trucks?
Yeah,
that are-
this they do. Yeah, the entrance does seem to be manned. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like they're gonna notice me off-roading it too. So I don't know which looks worse, me visibly trying to go around them. I bet they'd probably hear that too, or me just trying to pretend like nothing bad's happening and just going straight through. I might just pull up and try and go through the gate normally and tell them that the cops that were up here told us to leave.
Okay.
I was
All right.
told to get
So
out.
so you drive up. Do you flash the headlights on before you get there, or do you just like slow drive, put it in neutral, and just let it roll for a bit?
I don't think I'll turn on the lights. I'll pretend
Okay.
like I didn't know they were on or off.
Yeah, muscle
Something
cars
like
are
that.
definitely known for their quietness. Agreed.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think it'll look more suspicious that I had them off and I noticed it and turned them on than like I'll just try and play it off and like, oh, I forgot to turn on the lights.
okay.
Um,
So you
go for that one.
you drive up, and they were looking out, and so they're a little bit surprised, but they do hear you coming, and they quickly turn around, and you can see out of instinct they just sort of raise their guns, and they're pointing them, and like you hear them shout, kind of like stop, get out of the vehicle, that kind of thing, and they come over, and they kind of stare you up and down, like who are you? What the hell are you doing here? This place is off limits. What the hell's wrong with you, kid?
We were here already. I was looking for one of my friends, and the cops told me to leave, so I'm just getting out of here. So you guys pull up.
One of them spins you around and smashes you down on top of the hood, and they reach and they kind of go through your pockets until they find like your wallet, and they kind of flip through it and they find your ID, and like, what's your last name?
I haven't come up with one.
I've been just saying Forrester because you're cousins with them, and I'm like, hey, maybe y'all have the same last name.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we'll do that.
Nicholas Forrester. What the hell you doing here tonight, Nicholas Forrester?
I was with one of my friends. We were looking for her friend. She'd gone missing. We thought this would be a place to get her.
He's like, all right. Well, you just hang right there, and it just kind of keeps you pinned while like the other guy is like going through the car. What's in the car that might get you in trouble? Anybody can pitch in. What might have been left in the car that might have gotten you in trouble?
That's a good question.
Drugs,
I don't-
weapons,
I don't-
evidence
I
of
don't-
some kind.
It is my dad's car, and he is an ex-military man, so maybe his old like sidearm or something is in there.
Okay. All right.
Straight to gun.
I know it's really terrible, but
Okay.
I was like,
The only thing
just some
that-
extra donuts.
It is not in
I mean, I
there.
have my switchblade on me. I thought wasn't like mechanically you can't get your iconic item taken or something.
Can't,
Yeah.
You can get it taken, but you can go to jail for it.
Yeah.
Here's your switchblade to keep you company in those.
Keep it in your prison pocket. You don't want to see it.
no.
Fortunately, the gun is not in the glove compartment, so there's nothing there. What did you ever do with the bug, Dan? The little bug that you got.
It was in my bag.
Okay, what you brought with you, or did you leave that in the car?
I don't think we would have brought it with us for this because it's not helpful.
Okay, so they're gonna go into the trunk where you were. They're gonna find your bag. They're dumping everything out on the ground, and they're just
Our
going.
homework.
And he picks it up like, hey, look. They're like, why you got this? Where'd you get it?
That's not my bag. That was my friend's bag. I've never seen that bag in my life.
Where's your friend?
I'm just borrowing the car from him. He didn't come up here.
Oh boy.
We rode together after school earlier, and he left his bag.
All right, you're gonna need to roll a charm, and I think you're
Yep.
gonna need 2 successes for this.
Okay.
Generous.
Charm.
Yeah, I think that's all there is. I think that's just
Okay.
like the all-purpose.
Yeah. Oh man.
Not good, huh?
Probably not.
You want to push?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you only have 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? How do you push? Or you do
Just hit the
reroll?
reroll button in the chat window.
Ooh.
Okay.
1 success.
All right. 1 success. Okay. So they're gonna go ahead and
I'm
put
gonna
some
mark
zip ties on your wrists at this point. And they're gonna say, "All right, that's it. It's enough of you." And they're gonna move you over into one of their vehicles. All of you, I'm assuming, have been like sneaking along the upper edge of the mountain at a distance of them. At some point, I'll say one of you will be able to look and see that things did not go well, and he seems to have been taken into custody in one of the vehicles. And then you
I
can,
think it's time to call that cab.
and so your car is just down there, Llewllyn.
Man.
We gotta get him out though, man.
Okay. I don't know.
Just get him bailed out in the morning. It'll be fine.
Where did I get bail money?
Yeah,
I
we're broke
got
as
you.
fuck.
I got you.
Oh shit.
Uh,
I mean,
But
we're gonna
the-
have to make some stops. I mean, I gotta offload some merchandise, but we can do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, how do we get it? Like, that's an option, right? The worst, not as great option is to try and get him out of that tonight. God, Edward, you're the only one with a phone. Why can't he have a cell phone too?
Oh, I don't have a cell phone. I was suggesting we use the phone back at that house if it still had power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I figured you had one of the old backpacks.
No, this is what,
Not yet.
86, you said?
92.
92.
Oh, 92. No,
There'd be
I don't have
car
a car,
phones.
so I wouldn't have a car phone.
were we able to see that they were looking at the bug? Like, did we kind of make that out at all?
I would say you see them go into the trunk and start going through Steven's bag, and at that point, it'll probably a realization will dawn on Steven that, oh shit, I left the bug in the bag, didn't I?
I wouldn't want to take a big old bag crawling up this mountain, so
Yeah.
And
Okay.
don't we know that Nick's dad was taken, and then when his mom went to find him, he wasn't where he was supposed to be, and nobody knew where he got taken to.
Mm-hmm.
So letting him out of our sight and trying to get him later might not work as well as we think it will.
Yeah. I can't think of a good story.
Well, then we need to cause a diversion or something.
yeah. I mean, do we try
Start
and
a fire,
Yeah,
man.
that house is already toast. Let's just blow it up.
So you
Ooh,
guys,
did
Oh,
you
it
see if
comes
it had
back.
a propane tank?
We can find something to blow it up.
you guys you do notice that one of the SUVs now, or one of the trucks down there, excuse me, is now driving further into the camp. Like peels off and drives away.
not
leaving
the one
just-
that he got put into?
you're not sure. Doesn't look like it.
There's always one option, man. One of us goes down there, fucking yells something, gets him to chase. He drives off. Hopefully, the other one of us doesn't get caught.
I can
Like,
try and be that
just
guy.
run as fast as I can, screaming, "Oh my God, the bees, the bees!"
Yes.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
my head. It's so big.
I can try and do that too because I'm pretty good at sneaking off. If I can get them away from here, maybe I can just.
Are
Lose 'em.
you good at the initial running though?
Yeah. And you wouldn't think it by looking at me, but
All right, weird loner kid. I mean, it's either you or Llewllyn.
I'm also not bad with move.
Or we blow shit up. I mean, that's
just
always
thinking
fun
about
too.
that makes my chest hurt. Let's just blow something up.
well, we can
You
blow something
know-
up, see what happens, and if it's not enough, then we'll go act crazy.
Deal.
Jeremy, it's Llewllyn, right?
Llewllyn.
Llewllyn.
Like yeah, we're like a lot of people will say it Llewellyn almost.
Yeah.
Llewellyn.
Okay, so walk me through the plan.
Do we have anything to make go boom, or do we have to run?
Well, let's find out what we've got to work with. If they've got propane tanks or gas going to the house, we got something to work with. If not, we'll have to check out what they got for electrical.
Yeah. I
So you're
doubt
talking
out
about- you're
here
talking about the
they
house
have
up the
gas
mountain?
lines.
You're talking about the house
Yeah.
at the mountain. That's like that's like at least a 15-minute hike back up the mountain.
Oh,
There are
Oh,
other
yeah, never mind.
buildings. There's like cabins and stuff still, like where
Yeah,
people
yeah,
are
maybe.
squatting.
cabins.
Sure.
They got
Yeah.
propane tanks around. They got
Okay.
their grills and such.
Okay, whoever's going down needs to roll a stealth test though. Like once you enter the grounds of the camp, it's time to roll a stealth test. If you're staying up the mountain a little bit, just looking down, you're good. So if you're going in, whoever it is, go ahead and roll stealth.
Edward,
me
you
come with
going
you?
in?
Or you want to just tell me what to do?
Yeah, I don't know what we've got to work with. I guess I gotta go. Hold on a second. He just kind of hunches over and just wheezes a bunch. Let me clear my lungs. All right, I'm ready.
I could go too, man. Like I can go with you. I
Hey,
don't
look,
want
if they
anything
hear
bad
me,
happen, yeah.
plan two. Just start yelling and running. Maybe it'll distract them.
All right.
Okay,
You got it, man.
So Steven, you make it down. You're sneaking off. Edward, Levi, are you going too? Who's,
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta go.
Allison, you pushing?
Yeah, I'm
I
going.
better.
Okay.
Edward's
success.
my boy.
Okay,
I don't
you're
want to
good.
see him get any blown up. Fuck.
Oh.
I'll push.
I gotta push.
Okay.
Yes, I gotta push.
Either
I'm
that
gonna
or can
take
your shame come into play
exhausted.
here?
Okay. Anyone fail?
I still failed.
Okay.
I can't push anymore.
All right.
Can your shame come into play here?
Oh yeah, shame.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. I am not in good condition.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So
So what does that do when you?
it just gives you once per session, as long as it makes sense. If you can explain how your shame comes into play, you get an automatic success.
All right. Well, yeah. My shame is that he's barely able to move on his own. I don't know. So did everyone else make it?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. So how about obviously I'm not going to be able to keep quiet, so somebody just picks me up and takes me with them.
Okay, another officer and a gentleman moment. It's down they go. This is great. Okay, so you guys are looking for any so you find a cabin. You find one of these cabins, and we'll say just for ease of purpose, you head back into the area where you had found Summer, and you do remember that there was a oil drum inside that was kind of giving them some fire and some heat and stuff, and it's still in there. It's still burning. You do look around. This was like a kitchen area, you recall, and you start going through looking for propane tanks or something that might be flammable, maybe. Let's 50-50 it. So 1 to 50, there'll be a propane tank somewhere that is useful, perhaps. And in fact, you do find buried underneath the floorboards. With there's a hole kind of broke through, and you can see some of the barbecue equipment or whatever kind of fell in. There is a old rusty propane tank.
Give it a little shake. Is it full? Yeah.
It's
Good to hear this.
it's got some juice in it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I want to rig that up. Find a cabin. So are these wood cabins?
They are.
Yeah, even better. Yeah, so find one that's pretty messed up. I'm a smoker, so like, let's say I've got a Zippo, right?
Mhm.
So I'm going to use that as a time fuse.
Okay. Roll a tinker test and take a bonus for your for using the Zippo.
Okay.
No Kelly voice yet. Sorry, I don't think we're gonna get to her tonight.
Got a success.
Okay. So you feel like you can rig up something that'll give you just enough time for everyone to get out of the cabin if you wanted, and this thing could blow inside the cabin.
I'm gonna stay here and watch it go now.
So Dan's making a new character for next week. Okay, so you I won't make you reroll your sneaks, but you set it up. You sneak on out, and after a few moments, the cabin explodes. Like you hear a pop, and then you can see like a burst of flame just kind of suddenly kick out the windows of this cabin, this once kitchen cafeteria cabin, and then very, very quickly you can see that people that were over towards that lab that was kind of getting set up immediately start running in the direction. Also, Nicholas, you can see that the person who's been guarding you, they're not in the car with you. They just put you in the back, and they had sent the other one was sent back in to kind of go get somebody else to like kind of clear whether or not they're keeping you or not. He turns around and because he's much closer, and so he starts running. The doors, however, are on this vehicle. They're locked and everything. Like you try to open them up. You can't open them up from the inside, but he goes hoofing it. So currently there's a big fire that's starting to brew in this old dried kitchen cabin for this summer camp. And then you've got Nicholas right out front, and then there's your car as well, Llewllyn. So what's the plan?
I'd be attempting to
bum rush the
cut
car.
myself out too.
You're attempting to what, Nicholas?
Cut myself out with my switchblade.
Okay. I'll say roll a move test, but I'm gonna say roll this at like a -2 since you are kind of like behind the back. It's gonna be kind of tough.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd just be working on it anyways.
Yeah, and they for some reason you managed to hide the blade somehow. Maybe you palmed it, whatever. Like you found a way to keep it concealed, and you slowly get it out of the sleeve or your hiding hole, wherever you put it, and then you just kind of start, cutting away at the plastic. And it's at that point you can see some people approaching the area. What are you guys doing? So Dan, you said you were just bull rushing the car.
I mean, do we just get him out and pile in and run, or
Probably we got to get him out of there.
So you guys
My
run
initial instinct is something really stupid, which is just to break the window, break the glass, and pull him out.
well, I mean, it might just open from the outside.
I'm really
I'm
glad
already
you're
in a
here.
car.
Just try the doors.
Is it- Right.
Yeah.
Because
Try
I
the
want to take a
doors.
peek and see if they put the little bug in here, if they took it with them.
You can, Nicholas, you would know that it looks like the one that went back took the bug with them.
Ah, damn.
Bug may be gone, man.
Mm.
Hey, consolation prizes if we're breaking into law enforcement cars. Maybe we can steal their guns too.
Or the
Yeah,
car.
I mean, maybe we do do a quick
They got
one.
like low jack and shit, man. Did they have low jack in '92?
I don't know. Military.
Are any of the car doors
police,
open?
Military. No, it's all closed. Everything's locked down. The whole thing's locked down when you come up to it. Someone can hop in your Roadster and get that ready to go.
Yeah.
That's fine. But how are you getting Nicholas out? Are you just smashing or?
I mean, I
Is the
barely-
door unlocked first?
Mm-mm. You pull
Any
on
of
it.
them?
What?
Yeah.
What would you do to pick a lock in this game?
It depends on the
hanger.
type of lock.
Yeah.
So
So this is like a normal keyhole door lock that you could jam a
Jiggle it,
screwdriver
probably.
in, like you fish like a
Mhm.
Yeah.
wire down in.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking. If there's wires sitting around in there.
okay. We'll 50-50. We'll just do a random luck. 1 to 50, you can find something in the rubbish nearby. And you do. You find something suitable. Some, I don't know, looks like, yeah, just some kind of random hanger that's laying on the ground in the perfect place for it.
Honestly, in this area, it's probably not the weirdest thing to just find random shit.
Or
laying
maybe
We all
you
know
guys have your-
Mickey's kind of that sort of guy. It's probably his.
Yeah. Plus, you guys have your car back, so there's probably something in your car that might work too. Maybe you keep a hanger in there for just such an occasion.
Please just lock the damn keys in the car too many
Oh
times.
God, I could tell a
I've done
story.
that
Oh,
many
about
times.
this.
Yeah.
Yep.
My mother. One time, really quick, just take 2 seconds. We're at a mall, locks your keys in the car. My dad says, go inside and get a hanger for us. She comes back out, really proud. I love my mother. One of those big, bulky plastic hangers. Just the look of disappointment on my dad's face was never greater in my entire life. Oh, it was wonderful. Okay, so anyway, you get the hanger, no problem. Some or at least some kind of wire that you have in your car, and you're able to kind of straighten it out as best you can. All of this is happening fairly quickly.
While they're doing that, I'll work on getting all my stuff picked back up and put away so I don't leave any extra stuff behind for him.
Okay.
Like my bag,
Yeah.
with my name potentially on it.
Okay. Yeah, that, I mean, like you could see stuff of yours is still on the ground, but not, it was some of your school stuff and whatnot. Nothing too fancy. Like anything cool. Like the most important thing was already taken, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I'm just more worried about like leaving stuff with my name on it behind.
Sure. Easy enough. You can, I mean, sneak is to steal, so maybe we could do sneak if you're looking to pick a lock. Trying to see if there's anything.
Yeah, who wants to do that?
I mean, I'm good at that
Tinker.
if you want me to do that instead.
Yeah, but
I
tinker
can
is
definitely
specifically
tinker, but if you're gonna,
machines.
if you're gonna do sneak,
I'll
Okay.
take. I mean,
Whichever
Build
way it
manipulate
goes,
machines.
I'll assist by kind of pulling the door back so you can get in there easier.
pick locks. Manipulate is tinker. Manipulate pick locks. So yeah, it is tinker. It is tinker.
Okay.
Not me then.
Yeah, not me.
oh man, failed. I'm gonna push it.
Okay. How are you looking? You've got a couple conditions, I think, at this point.
Yeah. Okay, a success.
That's all you need, and you're able to pick the lock, open the door. Nicholas comes out. He's already freed his hands, just couldn't get out. And yeah, you're all out, and you can hear voices and shouting as people are still dealing with the fire, which has seemed to have spread now to like some of the trees, because it's just like dry here. There's like everything's dry old wood, and it's just spreading and spreading. This is how forest fires are started. Wildfires are started. Like, you guys have destroyed the town. So
It's a desert. Come on.
there's tons of deserts, tons of wildfires.
Oh man.
Oh God. Okay, so do you guys just haul it? Do you guys just drive off?
Yeah, that feels like the thing to do.
Let's
Ooh.
start with that slow roll and then hit it.
Okay.
Hey, look around in that car real quick. Actually, did he leave behind his notebook, like in case he wrote down any information? Snag that if it's still in the car.
You don't see a notebook. Let's see if there's anything I can give you.
Check the glove compartment, see if there's anything in there. Of course.
Okay. You find a map that's got scribbles on it.
Yeah, we can look later. Grab it.
You just grab it. It's just you quickly see it's of endurance, and there's markings on it, and you just put it and you just go. Okay. You do the slow roll in neutral until you're a ways away, and then you start burning away. You're driving for a bit, and hopefully no one's following you. No one seems to. However, once you guys get back onto the highway, you get back to town, you can start seeing the lights of various buildings. It dawns on you, Nicholas, that they know your name. They saw your ID, all those types of things. Yeah. Okay. So we'll say you cruise back into town. We'll say it's pushing midnight at this point. Like you were there for a couple hours. Did you guys want to try to do anything else? Or are you guys done for the night?
One felony a night is plenty.
One felony. Okay, so then we'll go and say one by one. Llewllyn will go and drop everyone off back at their respective homes. And when you get home, your mother is once again up, looking at you. 2 nights in a row? Are you serious?
Hey, listen, Mom, it's fine. Tonight we broke into a cop car. So like we're in safe hands all night.
I know you're joking, but you really shouldn't joke like that. I was just so worried about you. This is ridiculous. There's leftovers in the refrigerator. I'm going to bed. And she gets up, and you can tell she's so mad at you right now.
Uh-huh.
Just so incredible.
Thanks, Mom. Love you. Saw Grandpa. He's doing fine.
Oh, he is? Okay, good. Good night. And she then, like, after she leaves and like storms away, she comes back in like moments later and just gives you like a big hug, you know, and she's just like, so glad you're safe. And then it's really like sloppy kisses and stuff on the cheeks and things. Like, yeah, it's just like, it's super gross.
Gross. Like, come on, Mom.
My baby boy. And then she goes back.
Gave the implied he was with a relation all night. I was seeing family.
Nicholas, you return home and you can see that your parents have returned. Your brother is asleep. Your father is pissed as hell when you get home so late. And you can say he's had a couple to drink. And he just like, where the hell you been all night? What's wrong with you?
Just been out with my friends.
You ain't got no friends.
How was your time with the police?
You got a smart mouth on you. Tom, maybe if you were here, you could have helped us. Where were you, huh? When they came into our home and broke our stuff. He's kind of staring at you.
I was my friends there too.
You can see that like he's got like cans of empty beers in front of him and everything, crystal beer. And he's like, guess you just care about your friends more than you care about your own family. You're just like your brother. The bad one, not the young one. He's cool. The older one, though.
He's cool.
If you want to live in this house, you play by my rules. You're home by 10 o'clock every night. Not a second later. You got me? And I tell you, if I hear anything about you getting into trouble, anything at all, even the slightest thing, I don't care whether it's the cops, I don't care whether it's the school, I don't even care whether it's the damn private security that works at the ham factory, or even those freaking military weirdos out east. If any one of them so much as mentions you being a delinquent,
checking all the boxes here.
You're out. You're gone, just like your brother. The battle. You hear me?
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen. Nothing to worry about.
Better hope you're right. Get out of my face. Sorry.
Right.
I feel really bad doing this.
That's fine. This is what I picture him like.
Okay. Steven, you get home and your parents are already asleep. Lights are off. There's not a note for you. There's no food waiting for you. Nothing. It's a nice home, but they're just asleep.
I'll throw on a TV dinner real quick and maybe see if the news is on or not.
Okay. You pull out a TV dinner. You get a Ham's Meats. Throw it in the microwave. Heat it up. You sit down. Start watching the news. And you see that there's apparently now coverage of a fire that has broken out at the old camp north of the lake. And there's like a couple what looks like camera crews, but they're not particularly close, but it's basically spread, and it's like this inferno, like where the whole camp is just kind of lit up at this point. Yeah. and like the local.
It's an opium den. It was going to happen sooner or later.
Well, that's the story. Actually, is like as they're saying, it sounds as though as some. Some of these squatters were working according to what we've been getting reports from the authorities. It says there's some kind of like opium den or something that was in there, and something exploded, fire caught and spread. We just hope no one's hurt. Just hope no one's hurt. So you're fairly confident at this point that there's a cover up that's now been put in place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good and bad.
Okay. Edward, you get home. It's kind of quiet night. It's pretty late by the time you get in. No one's really there. But we'll say, just for shiggles. Actually, no. We'll come back to you in a sec. Let's do the twins first. Twins, you get home, and your dad's home. There he is. He's on the couch. He's sleeping. He's got a Ham's TV dinner sitting on his belly, and it's half eaten. And he's got a half drunk, like the other half of his broken 6-pack of crystal beer is on the couch right next to him. Looks like he got through about 3 or 4 before he passed out. You look at the TV, and it's sort of flickering all strange, like it's just nothing on it. It's just flicker, 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 flicker. And you notice that like this flickering is throughout the entire house. Like all the lights, everything flickering.
So weird.
I
I've got a weird thing where like Llewellyn just like reaches over to grab the Ham's dinner because he always just assumes it's Ham's fault, and like he moves it closer to the TV to see if that changes how it flickers.
You move it closer to TV and nothing seems to change. But every light switch that you turn on, the fan doesn't seem to be working right. Like it's like something's up with your electricity. It's just not quite functioning the way it should.
Allison is just gonna whisper, "It's the meat in the damn wall. I'll bet you."
Don't
Remember?
say stuff like that. I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Well, I'm gonna try to go outside and try to like mess with the breaker box.
Okay. Go
Do we
outside.
have any places where there's mouse holes? I'm gonna look for meat in the wall.
Okay, you start looking for meat in the wall. You do have, I'm sure your house has mouse holes.
Mouse holes, yeah.
Yeah, you start looking around. They're meat holes now. You start looking around. Llewllyn, I would say, as you're kind of down on the baseboards and like reaching in and looking in, you do hear a inside the walls.
Oh man.
And Allison, when you're outside, you go to open up the junction box and you can see that all throughout the box, spewing out in between each one of the breakers, you see little drips of meat just flopping down and out. And then finally, we'll go back to Edward to end the night. Edward, we'll say before you go to bed, you start hitting, you hit the net like usual, start doing some research on some various things that you kind of came up with, and kind of a dead end in the numbers so far.
Actually, what I wanted to do with the numbers is just like, I'm just gonna write a program that just goes out, it just compares them to find out like what comparison these numbers have in common, and just let it run. Just put it on in the background, let it run.
Done. Yeah, that's easy enough to do. Nothing will ping back tonight, but for now, like that's running. I will give you one thing though, is that you we'll say you take a quick moment to do a search for Aura Kelly, the name of the Architectural Digest, and you can, and as you kind of look into her, you do find that apparently back in 1988 there was a Architectural Digest magazine bio of her, which is a different year from what you saw. Like you could see the cover like kind of shows up in your search, which is different than the cover that you saw inside the house. But apparently when it was published in 1988, it was published posthumously, and that she apparently died sometime early in 1988 in a car crash somewhere in California, which doesn't really align with your memory, because she is seasonal. You do remember her coming in, various chatter. But according to the search that you've gotten, as you've gone through some of the info, she apparently died 1988 car crash.
So is this
in
like
California.
a Mandela effect thing, like where I remember it being different? Or
You would probably have to ask around some more to verify, but your memory is that you've heard of the woman. Like, now, once the name was mentioned, you know that she's been in town. Like,
okay.
so, but according to your research, she died in '88.
All right. Well, I'll print that out. And I've already started a folder of like bizarre crap that's going on. Just
Yeah,
print it
it's
out.
getting really
stick in the
thick.
folder. So, Edward, he's been messed up. I'm upset, scared, exhausted. He looks over his medications and is like, he holds his stomach. It's like, yeah, it always makes me sick. So I look at the medication, just push it into the garbage can, and I pull out a baggie of Valiums. I pop a couple of Valiums and just lay down in bed.
Okay. And that's where we'll stop for tonight. Edward taking some Valium. All right, we'll stop it there. Let's do our questions for XP. I'll say it before Melissa does for tonight. Let's see. Experience.
Are there any talents or anything in the foundry yet?
There's no talents in this. It's just skill point increases. It's a pretty light game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like Vason's
Okay.
got the talents and stuff like that. It's pretty light. Okay, participation. Yep, 1 XP. Did your problem or relationships get you into trouble? Let's see. Definitely. Okay, so we'll say that for sure Allison, for sure Edward. We'll say I think Levi.
No, hold on. So my problem isn't that he's weak. His problem's different. It's
okay.
his shame is that he's weak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Levi, you have a relationship now with Tiffany, so she directed you to the suburb, but you didn't really explore it too much. So if you want to take it this week just to hit an XP breakpoint, you can. But once you guys eventually do, if you guys ever do investigate the suburb thing, just don't take it then. It's up to you.
I'll wait. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else think that your relationship or problem got you into trouble?
So I might need to rework my problem.
Okay.
Now that
I'm gonna get disowned here.
Yes, you are. Was anyone broken and forced to take a scar? Edward was close, I think.
Close, but yeah, not
Yeah.
full on.
Put yourself in harm's way to resolve the mystery. Yeah, you can all go ahead and take a point for that. Sneaking into a
blowing a
freaking
cabin up.
military controlled summer camp and blowing up a cabin. Yeah, I think so. And did you learn something new? Yeah, I think you guys got that one too.
So with this one, you have to mark 10 before you get experience, or is it 5?
Just once you get to 5, you just can't save more than 10. So it wants you to spend it.
Okay. And so the same, you can increase a skill, but not an attribute, but that's pretty much all you can buy.
That's all
right?
you can do, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So I think that's it. So let's close down with some plugs, what people got going on this week. So let's go reverse order, I guess. That seems to be a fancy new thing. Let's see. So Jeremy, you got your podcast to plug. So what's going on? You guys got your Invincible episode up yet?
No, it's not up yet. We should have that going soon. Podcast called the Plutecast, PLEWD. It's a pretty fun time. Why not?
Okay, right on. And Invincible is pretty great. So if you haven't actually watched that yet, you should totally.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really good.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll do ours this time since you did them in the front, Melissa. So Defenders, Chuck, what do you got going on?
Yeah, we got Wednesday Skull Box. Jeremy's going to be running for that, us through that 10 p.m. Central. Friday, we're doing Act 2 of Chariot of the Gods, the Alien RPG by Freely Publishing. So, same stuff.
Yeah.
Wednesday, we'll have another episode out of our Watercolor Warriors, our Ghibli-inspired 5th Ed campaign. And then Saturday night over on Goodman Games Official for our Danger Stranger show, Bert's going to be running us through some Umerica. And I think Sunday night we're going to have a another Salt Marsh episode here on Twitch.
Nice.
So yeah.
Awesome. As for, sorry, Bert, go ahead. I skipped you.
Oh, twitch.tv/Steam Steel Murder. Tuesday, first edition Dungeons and Dragons. Friday, BX Dungeons and Dragons. Saturday, doing the thing with Umerica on the Goodman Games channel. And Sunday, Gamma World first edition, probably.
Awesome. And as for us, Adventures in Lollygagging, twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers. All of our links are in the chat. We've got this Friday, we've got Delta Green. We're continuing our Impossible Landscapes campaign. Starts at 8 Central. And then next Monday, on our channel, we are continuing our Alien game. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks for more Things from the Flood. I should also mention for Things from the Flood, it's in the bundle of holding now too. So if you want to grab Things from the Flood, check out bundleofholding.com. There's a bunch of Coriolis books and Things from the Flood and a couple Tales from the Loop supplements. It's all pretty cheap. So it's definitely some good stuff to get. So you get the base Things from the Flood book and then like Out of Time, I think, for Tales from the Loop, and I can't remember what the third is, and then a bunch of Coriolis stuff as well. So take a look at that. But that's it for us. We're done for the night. Thank you for those of us who joined and watched us live, those of you who rated, those of you who are watching this in VOD or on YouTube. And come back in 2 weeks, and we'll do more of this weird desert mystery. So good night, everybody.